Yes, here we go. Sportsbook betting insight today. Pauly and Teddy, Wednesday, September 5th. The NFL is here. We'll get to the Falcons and the Eagles coming up, and TCU and SMU, big game breakdown. I know everyone's ready to go with nothing but winners for the last 2 weeks here on Sportsbet. All the betting news you need to know in less than 20 minutes. I'm at Real Sportsbet on Twitter. He's at Teddy_covers, and we started going live on August 1st. So let's rock and roll with the short bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books. Not a lot of movement yesterday in MLB, but there was steam on the Rockies, and rightfully so. 165 up to 190. They are 17-2 in their last 19 home games against the Giants. They win and cover the run line. And the Dodgers from $2 up to $2.60. They won and cover the run line 11-4. Two bad results for the books.
Yeah, same thing with the Indians. The Indians bet up minus 220 up to minus 240. They win on the run line, a 9-3 final. So when you have three big chalk, Colorado, LA, Cleveland, all come through, all take steam, all cash on the run line, you know what? Not a great result for the books. There was a lot of parlay liability last night, and that parlay liability turned in the bettors' favor. Bad result for the house. They didn't price the favorites in MLB quite high enough.
This steam was off. 30-cent move on the Mariners up to 210. Something to follow. They had a fight, little Donnybrook in the clubhouse before the game, and then they went out and lost to the Orioles. Leak goes tonight, who's was top 5 in ROI with pitchers. So that's something to track. After this game, the Yankees come into town. So we'll see if there's any turmoil there in the clubhouse after the fight as they go out and lose to the Orioles, and they took money. And I think the A's should be worried about the Rays and not the Mariners. The Rays won again. They've won 13 of 15. They're 17 games over 500. They are only 6 back in the loss column.
Shh. Tampa Bay's been my little money-making machine, man. The Rays have been a lot of fun. But let's talk about the Mariners last night, because when you talk about a locker room, and this was a brawl, it was a Donnybrook. It wasn't like a little thing. It spilled out. The media got a hold of it. There were pictures around. And then you come out, your $2 chalk to Baltimore, and you lose that game. That is as strong a negative sign as you can find. That is a sell sign on Seattle. Leak might be the number 1 ROI pitcher, but you're right about those Rays. Might make a little noise before this season's done. Might make a little noise before today's done as they road chalk in Toronto tonight.
Yep. Top 5, Fire's still number 1. A's 5-0 since they acquired him. What a season he's having. He's going against Severino coming up. One vicious push, a tough beat. First 5 if you had the Cardinals. 4-0 in the bottom of the 5th, and then walk fest started. You at least get out of there with a push as the Nats rally to tie it. Cardinals won the game, but it was 4-4 going to the 6th. Then they hit 3 home runs and eventually won 11-8 in that one. How about some props? NFL season starts tomorrow. First coach fired. Dirk Cutter, the favorite at 3-1. Hugh Jackson, who is 0-30 straight up on Sundays, which is hilarious, as the coach of the Browns. The only win was on a Saturday. How about Harbaugh at 20-1? I think they're going to go over the win total, but I'm just trying to make a case here because they haven't made the playoffs the last 3 years. Gase at 12-1. Maybe Bill O'Brien if the Texans get off to a slow start. What do you think? First coach fired prop at NFL offshore.
Well, what's interesting in my mind is not the guys necessarily at the top of the list. It's the guys that flat out aren't going to get fired. Belichick's not getting fired. Peterson's not getting fired. Peyton's not getting fired. Tomlin, Reed, McVay, Shannon, none of these guys, they can do anything. Their teams can go 0-10 to open the season, and nothing's going to happen. So what this list really does gives you an idea of which coaches have no chance of getting fired in season and which coaches maybe they better watch out. Obviously Dirk Cutter in Tampa is on the hottest seat coming into the season. And obviously Hugh Jackson and his 0-30 record on Sundays is on the second hottest seat. Although I think if it came to a mid-season scenario where both these teams started off lousy, Cutter would get fired before Jackson. There's more hope this year for Tampa than there is for Cleveland. But look at Jason Garrett near the top of that list, the Cowboys' longtime head coach. Not the guy who the markets think necessarily. And again, make no mistake about it. With these lines, these are entertainment purposes lines. You're not going to get down 5 dimes on who's going to be the first coach fired. But it is interesting to see the markets and how they react to some of these teams. Vance Joseph might be a guy I'd look at 10-1.
Yes.
If Denver gets off to a rough start, I don't know that Joseph will make it to midseason.
I'm with you on that one. He should have been fired last year, many felt. This is a fiasco, too. How are you going to grade this? Some bozo media guy or somebody in the stands on Twitter? Because NBC, I think it was NBC and another network who said they're not going to show I think it was ESPN. ESPN and NBC aren't going to show the anthem anymore. So total number of players not to stand in week 1, over 34.5. And teams with most players not to stand for the anthem in week 1. Seahawks lead the way, -$2.
Yeah. Again, they're interesting props to consider as to how they get graded, as to how much you're going to get down on these props. Look, for entertainment purposes only, but I like to spotlight stuff like this because it gives an idea what kind of betting options are out there. We talk a lot about size. We talk a lot about totals. We don't talk a lot about what we call the derivative marketplace in the sports betting nearly as much as we should, where if you have an opinion on one thing, it can lead to other bets down the line. So for national anthem props, look, over, it's an interesting number too. Over 34.5 versus under 34 for total players not to stand. What do you think, Pauly? Just off the top of your head, would you go over or under that number? I don't know what I would do. I'm just thinking about it.
No, I would take it under. I definitely take it under. I guess some guys will stay in the locker room. I would go under with that as well. But I don't know. Who knows? Gun to my head, I'd take the under on that one.
Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the games.